As Donald Trump's approval rating continues to crater, and one day after Trump personally threatened them with a DOJ investigation for alleged election fraud for a bad poll, some parts of Fox News are now publicly scrambling to give Trump some good news. And so MAGA Fox News host Harris Faulkner impaneled a group of 2024 voters desperate to try to give some sort of positive spin for Trump. And it turned out to be a total disaster. And I can't wait to show you the clips. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, I want to set this up, give you some context here, okay? Watching Fox scramble the way that they're doing. So for context, this is what Donald Trump said yesterday about recent polls that he received, including Fox News, okay? He says, great pollster John McLaughlin, one of the most highly respected in the industry, has just stated that the failing New York Times poll and the ABC Washington Post poll about a person named Donald J. Trump, me, are fake polls from fake news organizations. The New York Times has only 37% Trump 2024 voters, and the ABC Washington Post poll has only 34% Trump voters, unheard of numbers unless they're looking for a negative result, which they are, or they're trying to keep it proportionate because Donald Trump didn't win a majority. Number one, you also have to factor in not just Democratic voters, but also people who voted third party and people who didn't vote at all. Dumbass, but I digress. These people should be investigated for election fraud and add in the Fox News pollster while you're at it. Okay, that's the context for this. Trump is publicly threatening Fox News with an investigation as he is the sitting president of the United States in command of a weaponized Justice Department. That's the context. I will also say before we get to the clips, Nate Silver hasn't updated this today. This is about 2 days old, but the recent polls have been unrelentingly negative for Trump, disastrous for Trump. -12, -11, -11, -2, -4, -9, -8, -20. It's terrible for him, okay? You add the CNN poll on top of it, it's just bad news. He is objectively the least popular president in modern American history. So with that in mind, Fox is scrambling. Oh my God, we got to give the dear leader something. You know what? Today is the 100th anniversary of him being inaugurated. He's been in office for 100 miserable days. Let's get a group together of voters and let's talk about Donald Trump's so many accomplishments. I want you to see this is the best that Fox News can do, okay? Listen to this woman answer this question. Listen to the words she uses, her tone of voice, how desperate she is to try to give Trump something that she herself doesn't believe.
This is what the president said he would do. He would make course corrections and go. Do you think the American public is getting that perspective?
I do to a point. I think people are a little bit nervous at this point, but I think we have to give him time. We elected him because we wanted a change. We needed a change, and that's why he was elected into office, to make a difference. And I think, 100 days, he's done great things. He's scared a few people, but I think we need to give him a chance to follow through on his plan, because I do think he's got, like Dominic said, great people in his corner and, smart people, and he's a businessman. He's not a politician, and I think we have to give him a chance to go forward with his plan.
All right, let's get...
Do you hear the palpable fear and uncertainty in her voice? Did you see it on her face? Look at this.
A politician, and I think we have to give him a chance to go forward with his plan.
You see it in her face. You hear it in the vocal fry. She has nothing with which to credit Trump, but she's in the belly of the beast. She's in Fox News. She apparently voted for Trump, probably have egg on your face. What are you going to point to? And she even makes tacit concessions. She scared some people. People are nervous. Trump has scared some people. People are nervous. We have to give him time. Why do you need to give him time if things are so great, if he's so amazing? Are we not seeing immediate results? Are you suggesting, Bonnie, that Trump is actually not doing so well, that there are mistakes, that you are also nervous, that you're not happy? You're just hoping that in the end, it will all turn out okay. That's actually an indictment of Trump, because what you're taking as an article of faith, as though he's a messianic religious figure, that things will work out in the end. You're tacitly conceding that right now it is a shit show. You casually mentioned, he's done some great things in 100 days. Like what? But she doesn't name any. That's the best that Fox can do in terms of full-throated support for Trump. He's scared a lot of people. People are nervous, but we really got to give him time. I mean, it almost looked like a hostage video, right? Not very convincing, Bonnie. So that's pretty disastrous, right? Then Fox News made the mistake of bringing on, for their purposes, I think it's actually a good thing when you hear at least some voices of dissent. But for them, it was a mistake because they brought on a very competent, very knowledgeable Democratic voter who pushed back on a lot of the bullshit that Harris Faulkner was trying to peddle with respect to Trump's attack on due process in particular. So this is Jay, a Democratic voter interviewed by Fox News impartially. But he lays a smackdown. He makes a very compelling case, and Harris Faulkner doesn't like it.
I think that there is not a single person that we can look to in the Democratic Party right now to say that that's our leader. However, with that being said, I think taking the one person who's there over a party is also quite dangerous because of some of the things that he's done. Taking away due process from folks is not okay. He's quick to call out when he feels like his rights are being infringed upon, when yet the Fifth Amendment says that every person, it doesn't specify citizens, it says every person shall have due process.
So we don't guarantee constitutional rights to certain illegal aliens, particularly when they are suspected of violent crimes, which is why we have a finalized deportation list. And it's pretty clear. And I think some of the cases that are public now, individuals were on that. So where are you saying that due process, I mean, to even get to that point, they must have gone through process.
Due process. Okay, so let's look at President Trump as an example. We call him a felon because he has been convicted of felonies. Some of these folks, without the actual due process, do not technically qualify as illegal immigrants because they have never had their cases heard. Now,
well, wait,
with
how
that
did they
being
get
said,
here is the question.
That's fine. But, you know, there's, just like we say when someone is allegedly being accused of something, it's the same process, right? However they got here, due process is what gives them that status of being illegal or not. So without that process, you're essentially just taking up people off of the streets, giving them this without their actual process and deporting them. Now, am I saying some of these people should not have been deported? No.
Do we agree that if you come across our border in an illegal manner that you have committed your first crime?
I believe you are entitled to due process.
That is.
You are. You are. Whether you came here undocumented or illegally, you are entitled to due process. You know, Harris Faulkner tried to obfuscate, well, we don't guarantee constitutional rights. You're right. We don't guarantee all constitutional rights to immigrants, documented or otherwise. But there are some that even undocumented immigrants, yet even alleged criminals, even alleged criminals who are undocumented immigrants are still afforded, which is why Trump has been facing one defeat after another in these court cases, even at the hands of conservative judges. Due process has not been afforded. The Supreme Court of the United States also articulated this when, on a 9-0 basis, they ordered that the Trump administration must facilitate the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia from El Salvador, okay, because his due process rights were violated. And he's not the only one. So Jay did an awesome job there. Again, in the belly of the beast, outnumbered, facing down a hostile host and a hostile network, pushing back on the Trump administration. And I will remind you of the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, a Reagan appointee, a conservative judge, lambasted, excoriated the Trump administration for its claimed authority. The executive possesses enormous powers to prosecute and to deport, but with powers come restraints. If today the executive claims the right to deport without due process and in disregard of court orders, what assurance will there be tomorrow that it will not deport American citizens and then disclaim responsibility to bring them home? And what assurances shall there be that the executive will not train its broad discretionary powers upon its political enemies? The threat, even if not at the actuality, would always be present, and the executive's obligation to take care that the laws be faithfully executed would lose its meaning. So what this conservative Reagan-appointed judge is saying is that Trump is claiming the authority, whether you like it or not, to be able to do this to American citizens, because if he can violate due process for immigrants, undocumented immigrants, alleged criminals, he can do it to American citizens because, as Jay articulates, due process is the means by which we properly sort these things out. And if you sidestep that, then you can sidestep it with anybody. No, it's illegal to deport American citizens. You can't do that. It's illegal to deport undocumented immigrants without due process as well. Sorry, if he's breaking the law in this instance, why can't he break the law in the other instance? Well, it's different. You're not articulating a meaningful case here. We're then left to the tender mercies of a merciless, wrathful, mercurial executive. And I don't imagine that Fox News would want a Democrat to be able to do that, right? Of course. So anyway, I would love to see Fox News scrambling in this respect. Trump is pissed off. They're doing their best. Oh, these 100 days have been like really great, right? Like North Korea style pep rally. And as you can see from both those clips, it was a total disaster. Even somebody who voted for Trump is trying to defend Trump. She can't really do it. She's struggling to do it because she knows it's a shit show. And the best she can say is, well, maybe we need to give him time to stop screwing up. That's the best you can offer, Fox. You know you've lost the plot. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.